I mean, not like so sharp an edge that it's gonna cut you, but you get the point. By compressing the grid lines or grid points, shortening the distances between the 2 points, the calculation of the gradient becomes sharper, and then it suggests like a curl edge downwards, and the shape of the chair stops there and changes direction. With this very powerful tool, you see I can keep going like this. A, select anchor point, and then I can finish off the plan, this cushion area people sit on. Right in the back, we have the yellowish screen, and then keep adding more mesh lines in the middle, and then I have more control on the color. I could like totally loyally follow the exact color from the reference image, or I could make a darker green. So then it suggests like a sharper change of the contour of the chair. Now I go about working on the edges on both sides now, or even like down on the edge of this bit. So I keep adding lines. You see, the different positions have different densities between contour lines, and that makes the shape of how a form, an object reacts to light exactly what we're saying. If it doesn't matter what tool you use, it doesn't matter if it's markers that you draw with, or paintbrush, or Photoshop, or AI, or even 3D software, you use lights. It's the same visual we're trying to achieve. It's an illusion of a 3D object in a lighting environment. And that's gonna give us hints to the eyes that how it appears, how 3D it is, or is it concave, is it converse, is it popping out, is this like smooth curve, or is it sharp corners? How does that look? How would that be interpreted as a 3D shape and form, but expressed in a 2D canvas? So keep working on the details. And then the next challenge is the whole, or let's not forget that the white layer we draw in between in the back of the city doesn't take into account with the mesh. And if we want to really represent the whole that way, then we'll have to treat it specially, or just mix something up. But before that, let me fix the edges. So I keep selecting the outline anchor points and try my best to pick the darker spots because it curves backwards and downwards. So let's like get to it. Now you see, it's a much more photorealistic drawing or illustration, and without any training in drawing, anyone could do it. So now the last challenge I'm going at is right above this hole, there is this cleaves and curves back and hinges and darker area that goes inside in between. I'm trying to assign some black pixel to it, but it looks too dark. So am I just missing out some lines? Do I need more extra mesh points? You know, play around with it, experiment with it. You need to spend time practicing. You really have to try and go at it, but not for too long. You get the hang of it, and it's beyond words. You get the heck of it, and then you just start assigning different colors to pixels. Pretty intuitive, I would rather say. The calculations is all behind, but then once you got the hang of it, it becomes part of you too, and then it's quite easy and quickly you work. Look at it. Talk you for like some 40 minutes, but you could achieve this in less than 15 minutes. and you have very good illustration or visual representation of any design or any 3D form you're trying to design, or even draw your own form, or even do without a reference image, because you can always pick your color from the color picker instead of sucking color from a pixel of a photo. But of course, before that, you need to get some good experience, or you have to have a good eye, or good training, or good understanding on how color reacts to light, how you get the tone. But that doesn't go to waste. I mean, that doesn't waste your drawing 101 class skills. Anything you learn or visualization applies here. Just change the two, and it even put it into simpler terms or faster terms. So keep tweaking with the mesh, and you could get really, really sophisticated. It really look like it's 3D film now. It's not even perfect, but you can see the layers and everything. So the next step is create a new layer, and just call it legs. So I'm going to draw the legs for the chairs, which is easy. It's just a repeat of a chase. And this time is a simpler operation, because with the pen tool you just click and click and click, don't drag, to draw straight lines, and go back to the original point to close the form and fill it with black color of the metal. And for some of the legs, if you will, you can still use the gradient mesh tool and put in some shading of the refractive gray. Once you finish, because we don't have to worry about size, orientation, scale, just trace it on top perfectly, like pixel by pixel, and then we move it across. So repeat this to get the 4 legs. Okay, so I skip ahead, and that's how I drew in the 4 legs. Put them into position, clean up the layers. If you still need more tweakings, you can go ahead and add in the details. For example, like zoom in, let me put this in, and you can see some design of the hinges in the back on the both sides of the chair. I haven't drilled them, too lazy. I'm gonna leave them up to you. Clean up your layers, check them out, make sure you understand everything, because sometimes to be a professional designer you work in a team, and a lot of times your teammates, your colleagues don't have a good understanding of what you draw or how you lay it out, and that's why you really want to name your layers or even your objects with like a very logical order, or just make sure they are easy to understand. And now I don't really need the picture of the reference image, and I'm gonna turn off that reference layer and get rid of it, make more space for my drawing, and then I'm gonna resize it to, well, according to your project. Obviously we don't have an object or project brief here of how big a reference or poster or a presentation board that we're making, but I'm gonna assume it is gonna be like an illustration of this furniture design that we are going to pitch, and I'm gonna put this up A4, so I'm gonna make use of the whole A4. So I've put the picture away, hold down Shift with the black arrowhead, select everything, or the layer, and drag the corner, hold down Shift to drag the corner, and scale it up in proportion. Voila, there you go. A very good representation of the visual of a chair. Any color you like, any size you want. And in style and three-dimensional. Thanks for watching Spatial Math. I'm Norman. See you next time.